morning. Today we will see Lab Program 5, Design and Analysis of Algorithms Laboratory. Name of the program is to sort a given set of n integer elements using mud sort method and compute its time complexity. Run the program for the varied values of n greater than 5000 and record the time taken for sorting, and also plot the graph of the time taken versus n on a graph sheet. The elements for the algorithm to execute can be read from a file or can also be generated using the random number generator. So we'll have to now demonstrate using a Java program how divide and conquer method works along with its time complexity analysis, worst case, average case, and the best case. The main aim of the program here is to sort the given n integer of elements using merge sort method. Before we go for the design of the program, let us quickly look into what is merge sort and how does it work upon. Merge sort is a sorting algorithm wherein the elements are sorted in either ascending order and descending order using a well-known algorithm design technique or a strategy called as divide and conquer. The general method of divide and conquer technique is to break the problem into several parts, and then after breaking the problem into several parts, solve each of the part recursively, then finally combine the solutions of the subproblems to obtain the solution of the original problem. Most common usage of divide and conquer here is to break the problem of size n basically into two equal parts of size n by 2 and solve the two parts recursively and finally combine two solutions to overall solution in linear time. So the basic concept of here divide and conquer is to divide the problem into two subproblems and then solve those two subproblems recursively and then combine the solutions of those two subproblems in order to get a solution for the original problem. Let us just look into a pictorial representative of the general method of divide and conquer. If I have a problem of size n, I'll divide that to a problem of size n by 2, a subproblem 1 of size n by 2. Then find the solution to the subproblem 1. Then again I have a subproblem 2, the two subproblems each of size n by 2, wherein I find solution to the subproblem 2 also. Then finally combine the solution of those two subproblems to get the solution to the original problem. And as I told, finding the solution to the subproblems will always be done recursively. Let us now look into how merge sort works by looking into its design and the implementation procedure. The algorithm for the merge sort goes something looks like this. So it takes three parameters, the merge sort algorithm, whereas A is the array which has to be sorted, and low and high are the indices, that is low indicates the initial index of the array, the first index of the array, and high indicates the last index of the array, which contains the elements which need to be sorted. And the algorithm goes like this. If the low is less than high, what is the meaning of low less than high here is, if at all the index of the first element is less than the index of the last element, then definitely it indicates that there is more than one element in the array. So when there is only one element in the array, we know that the indices of the first as well as the last element, that is low and the high, both will be equal. Whereas when there are more than one element, definitely low will be less than high, where low is the first index of the array and high indicates the last index of the array. So here the main intention of using this relation is I can divide the problem into subproblems until there are more than one element in the array. That means to say, when there is only one element in the array, I cannot divide the problem into further subproblems, right? So in order to check that condition, we just impose the condition low less than high. If low is less than high, I can divide the problem into subproblems. If not, I cannot divide the problem into subproblems. If low is less than high, then so I divide the P problem into sub-problems by using the concept of mid. Mid is nothing but calculated as low plus high by 2. And solve the sub-problem. Now the sub-problems, as I said in the previous slide, so we have sub-problem of size n by 2 and sub-problem of size n by 2. So now the sub-problem here with respect to my array A, low comma high will be now the first sub-problem ranges from low to mid and the second sub-problem ranges from mid plus 1 to high. So I will sort these two sub-problems again recursively by calling the same function. So A, low comma mid, calling the function merge sort. Again merge sort with respect to the second half of the array A, mid plus 1 comma high. And finally, whenever the first recursive call ends, so it would have sorted the array A from low to mid. The first half of the array will be sorted. When the second recursive call ends, the array A will be sorted from mid plus 1 to high. The indice is mid plus 1 to high, which indicates the second half of the array. Once these two halves of the array, that is A ranging from low to mid and A ranging from mid plus 1 to high, are being sorted, the final job is now to sort the entire array by combining these two halves which are already been sorted, and that is done by calling the function merge A comma low comma mid comma high, wherein in the array A, low to mid is sorted as well as mid plus 1 to high is sorted. When this particular function ends, the entire array A would be sorted. Let us see an execution example for the same. Let us consider the elements that I have taken for sorting as 7, 2, 9, 4, 3, 8, 6, 1. So based on the mid, the array gets divided into 2 equal halves. Since there are 8 elements, it will get divided into 4 elements. And now the first half is made up of 7, 2, 9, 4 and the second half is made up of 3, 8, 6, 1. Again, so as I said in the algorithm, the division continues till there is only one element in the array. So you can find now the array is made up of, again, the first half is made up of 4 elements, which gets divided into 2 elements, that is 7, 2, the other half is 9, 4. 7, 2 is now again divided into 2 elements, the 7, 2 is now again divided into 2 halves, one consisting of 7, the other consisting of 2. So we can now see the array are containing only a single element. So wherein when there is a single element in the array, it's understood that it is already being sorted. So nothing to be done here. Now I need to now merge the same. Merging, so I'll get 2, 7. That means to say I'll have to sort it. Then again coming on to the next half, so 9, 4. Similarly 9, 4 will be divided into 2 halves, 9 and 4. After merging them we get 4 and 9, and then finally the 2 halves, that is 2, 7 and 4, 9 of 7, 2, 9, 4, which are being sorted, will now be sorted into a single half of the array, which is 2, 4, 7, 9. And similarly the second half of the array will also be sorted, 3, 8, 6, 1, which gets sorted as 1, 3, 6, 8. Once the first and the second half are now being sorted, they'll again be merged back into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8. This is how it works. So we kept on telling you that there will be merging process. Let us now see how the merging process will run through with this small two arrays, that is I consider A and B. So you can now see the bold letters indicates the letters or the numbers which are to be sorted here. So in order to merge these two sorted arrays A and B into C, I take the first element 3 in the first array A and the first element 2 in the second array B. This compare it. 3 is compared with 2. So which is lesser? 2 is lesser. Copy that element to my temporary array, which we call it as C. Next, upgrade the pointer. That means point to the next element of the array from which the least element was chosen. Smallest element was chosen. So it gets pointed to 3, 5. Again, 3 is compared to 5, which is smallest. 3 is smallest. Copy that. Another pointer points to 7. 7 is compared to 5, which is smallest. 5 is smallest. Copy it down. Similarly, again, pointer gets updated to 6, pointing to 6 in the B array, as 5 was the least element selected from the B array. 7 and 6, again 6 is there, list, copied, and the pointer points to 10. 7 is compared to 10, 7 is copied. Similarly, 8 is compared with 10, 8 is copied. 19 is compared to 10, and 10 has been copied to the array C. We can now see that the second array, sub-array, has been exhausted. That means to say B array does not contain any more elements for comparison. So what I can do is, I can straight away copy all the elements of A to C. Why can I simply copy elements of A to C? Because already the elements of A will already be sorted. So no issues, I can simply copy down to my C array. This is the logic which is being followed in merge. So I start comparing every element of the first half with every element of the second half from the first element. So whichever is the smallest, that will be copied to my temporary array, and then upgrade the pointer that points to the array, points to the smallest element to the next element position. Let us see the algorithm for the merge, how it works. So it's an array containing, so A low comma high is an array containing two sorted subsets in A low to mid and in A mid plus 1 to high. The goal here is to merge these two subsets into a single set residing in low comma high. B is a temporary array. So H is low, I is low, and J is equals to mid plus 1. So H is an index that now acts as a pointer to the first half of the array, which is initialized to low, and I is an index pointing to the temporary array, which is again initialized to low, and J is an index which is pointing to the second half of the array, which is initialized to mid plus 1. So I need to do comparisons till I either get exhausted with my first subarray or the second subarray. That is, the H is still less than or equal to mid, or and J is less than or equal to high. Compare till H is less than or equal to mid and J is less than or equal to high. Keep comparing the elements. Is E of H less than equal to E of J? If E of H is less than or equal to E of J, then copy E of H to B of I to the temporary array. Upgrade the index H. H is updated to H plus 1. Else, what is smaller here? E of J is smaller, copy E of J to B of I and update the pointer J, which is J is equal to J plus 1. And either of the case, whether A of H is smaller or A of J is smaller, you copy it to the array B and upgrade the pointer I to I plus 1. So the while loop which is there here may terminate at either of the case wherein the first array is exhausted or the second array is exhausted. What do you mean by the first array is exhausted? That means to say H has crossed mid, H has become greater to mid, or J has become greater to high. In either the cases, you will have to copy the elements. So if at all H is greater than mid, then what should I do? What does it mean if H is greater than mid? Is the first array has been exhausted, you need to copy the remaining elements in the second subarray. As we all know, the second subarray is pointed by which index? Variable, that is J. Copy that second array elements, remaining second array elements to B array. So how to copy? For K equals to J to high, copy A of K to B of I. Else, that means to say if at all H is not greater than mid, that means to say that J has become greater than I. Else copy the remaining elements of first subarray, that is K ranges from H. H is a pointer to the first subarray to mid. Copy those elements to this. Once the elements are being copied, the remaining elements, all the elements which are present in the temporary array has to be copied back to the original array. So for K is equal to low to high, do A of K to B of K. A of K equals to B of K. That means to say copy all the elements from B of K to A of K. And this is the end of the. Now let us look into the program. So I'm now importing two classes, random as well as a scanner class from the package java.qt. So I've created one class, public class named as merge sort, and which includes the main function and also two functions, that is a merge sort function and the merge function. So let us see how the program has been written for the same. So I declare one variable, static variable max, which is equal to 30,000, because I just want this max representing the array size in order to consider the time for n values, more large values of n. So public static void main string args. So I'll now create the array int a using the new int a open parenthesis using the new keyword int of size max. And I have two variables declared, start and end, which is of type long. So I've created an object sobj of scanner class, then printing the message, that's a merge sort algorithm, and then asking the user, prompt message to the user, asking him to enter the number of elements to be sorted, and that is read and stored in the variable n by using nextInt function with respect to the s object of the scanner class. So next, in order to generate the numbers randomly as stated in the aim of the program, I now create an object rand of class random. So by using this rand object, I'll be able to generate the numbers randomly. So whatever numbers that I generate randomly, it should be stored in the array A. So I need to generate how many numbers randomly? It's n numbers. So I'll have to use a for loop for I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus. So to generate the random numbers using the rand object, I again need to use the method nextInt, which is present in the random class. So rand dot nextInt. So in parenthesis, I give a value called as 100. So this indicates that I need to generate the random numbers from 0 to 99. So if I don't specify this limit 100, so I generate any random number, but since I just want to limit random numbers between 0 to 99, I just give the value 100. So I can give here 200, 300, 10, any value can also be given. So I just limit my random numbers ranging between 0 to 99. Once random numbers are generated and stored in E of I am displaying what are the array elements which are generated that are to be sorted by again displaying the contents of the array A using again the for loop. And then I'm calling another method which is present in the system class, that is called as the nano type. So this is a method which tries to give the time that has been elapsed before calling the method merge sort in terms of nanoseconds. That is your stat indicates the time that has been occurred before calling the merge sort method. So I'll call the merge sort method by passing the array A, and the starting index of the array, that is low, is now initially 0, and the final index, the last index of the array, which is high, is initially now n minus 1. And once this merge sort function finishes its execution, the array A would have been sorted from the index 0 to n minus 1. Then also I'll take up the time, which we call the end time, the time that has been lapsed after the completion of the merge sort method. Once the times are recorded with respect to the variable start and end, I'll just display the sorted elements are again by using the for loop and printing the array elements A. Therefore, the time taken to sort here is now nothing but n minus start, which is displayed in terms of ns. Ns refers to nanoseconds. That's the end of the main function. So I need to now declare both merge sort as well as the merge function. So I now declare merge sort, void merge sort, and it should be declared as static for the reason because I am not creating any objects here. So I'm just directly calling the method merge sort without creating any objects. So if I try to call any methods without creating an object, so I'll have to declare it as static. Or otherwise, if I don't want to declare it as static, I should have created an object of merge sort and then call the method merge sort there. Anyways, so now it takes three arguments: array, low and high. So as I said, we need to divide the problem into subproblems only if there are more than one element. How do I identify there are more than one elements? When the first index of the array is less than the last index of the array. So when the first index of the array is equal to the last index of the array, it indicates that there is only one element. If low is less than high, it indicates there are more than one elements. I need to calculate mid in order to divide the problem into two halves, which is nothing but low plus high to be computed, added, then divided by 2. This gives the mid position in an array. Then sort the first half of the array, which ranges from low to mid, recursively by calling the function merge sort, and sort the right half of the array, the second half of the array, which ranges from mid plus 1 to high, recursively by calling the merge sort. So this two recursive calls will now sort the first half ranging from low to mid and the second half ranging from mid plus 1 to high. Once they are being sorted, we need to call the merge method, which will merge the two sorted halves ranging from low to mid and mid plus 1 to high. This is the end of the if and end of your merge sort. So this will happen for every values of low which is less than high. It is recursive. You should be careful here. So how does it move on? Next is a merge. Now as I said, we have four variables declared: I, j, h, k, where h is a pointer, points the first element in the first half, which is ranging from low to mid, and I is equal to low is pointing to the temporary array which I have just created, that is b, which is also of size max, and j is a pointer that points to the first element in the second half of the array, which ranges from mid plus 1 to high. So I need to compare the elements in the first half and in the second half till either of the array gets exhausted. So the comparison should continue till I cross the first array, the first subarray is getting exhausted, or the second array is being exhausted. So I need to compare till h is less than or equal to mid and j is less than or equal to high, because h is a pointer to the first element in the first half and j is a pointer to the first element in the second half. So till either of these two get out of the boundary, that is h becomes greater than mid or j becomes greater than high, so I need to stop the comparison. Till then it has to be continued. So if e of h is less than e of j, then copy e of h to b of I, update h so that it points to the next element for the comparison, else copy aj to b of I, update j, and either of the cases you update even I. So we can also write a single statement here, something like b of I plus plus is equal to e of h plus plus, and b of I plus plus is equal to e of j plus plus, and that can also be imposed. Spend as this while loop terminate, as I said, when h becomes greater than mid or j becomes greater than high. So if h is greater than mid, so what should I do? I should now copy. If h is greater than mid, I should now copy the elements, the remaining elements in which array? In the second half of the array, as the first half of the array has been exhausted. So copy the remaining elements in the in the second half. K is equal to j. So k is a variable which is initialized to the current value of j, goes on till less than or equal to high. Copy ba of k to b of I, update I to I plus 1. Else means to say the second array has been exhausted. Copy the first array, the remaining elements of the first array, where k ranges from h, the current value of h, till less than or equal to mid. Copy of k to b of I, update I plus 1. This also can be written as a single statement, b of I plus plus is equal to e of k. So once the remaining elements of non-exhausted arrays are being copied, copy the elements which are there in the temporary array back to your original array, ranging from low to less than or equal to high. So for k is equal to low to k less than or equal to high, k plus plus, copy the elements from b of k to e of k. So be careful, here you are supposed to write k equals to low to k less than or equal to high, because low is the starting index and high is the ending index. Never write less than high. So it is the end of the merge, then end of the class merge sort 2. So if I execute this program, you can see here the number of elements to be sorted are 5. The elements to be sorted, what are the numbers which are generated, and the sorted elements are so and so. The time taken to sort is also 44550 seconds. Similarly, we have for n elements. Along with this, we need to also account for the time taken for different values of n. You need to tabulate. So the number of elements n, I have taken it as 1000, 5000, 10,000, 15,000, 20,000, and record the time taken in terms of seconds. That is T of n, which is in terms of seconds. So let us now execute the same program and see how does it work. The same program which I have just given. So I'm prompting the user to enter number of elements he would like to sort. Say I need to sort 5 elements. What are the array elements which are generated randomly? That is, the array elements to be sorted are 99, 41, 55, 40 and 69. The sorted elements are 40, 41, 55, 69 and 99. The time taken is 433,741 nanoseconds. If I execute for another set of elements, say for example I execute for 10 elements, the array elements which are generated randomly goes on like this. The sorted elements also are in this way. Sorted elements are in this way and the time taken is so and so. So with this program, summary of the program is basically to illustrate how exactly the merge sort works by using the concept of divide and conquer and the time taken with respect to different values of n. As the time complexity of the merge sort algorithm is n log n, so we get the time increasingly in terms of logarithmic factor. So we need to tabulate the values and also plot the graph, taking the x-axis as n and y-axis as the time taken to sort the n elements. Thank you.